Good
Okay.
morning, Chair.
Yeah.
Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Dr. Gopal, kindly chair the session, this talk to be
Uh,
delivered by
yeah,
Dr. Lakshmi Kante.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So, first of all, welcome to all of you in this particular session. And it's my privilege to introduce about Dr. Lakshmikant Dey, who is a associate professor in the Department of Mathematics, NIT Durgapur, West Bengal. At the same time, he is now HOD of the department, and he has specialized especially in the area of nonlinear analysis and fixed point theory. He has published very nice papers in this particular topic, especially in fixed point theory. He has produced more than 10 PhD students, and some student I particularly know about because of their work in fixed point theory and applications. He has also uh, gave talk in some of the conferences. So, with these words, I welcome Dr. Lakshmi Kante for his lecture on the topic discontinuity at fixed point of contractive type mappings. So, now welcome you, sir.
Uh, Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Gopal. And I like to thank the organizer of Indian Institute of Technology, Benares Hindu University, from the Department of Mathematical Sciences. I like to thank Professor Shom for inviting me to give this talk. Okay, so without going much further, I like to just start with this thing, discontinuity at fixed points of contractive type mapping. So uh, as we all know that normally what happens whenever
Uh, Thank you, Professor Sahu and Professor Joydeep Datta for his very illuminating talk, clearing the basics and everything, and then going to the higher level. Now I
uh, am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes. Now,
Okay, so as you know, in case once we are considering some mapping, which is a contraction type map, and normally contraction and contractive type, both mappings are continuous, and uh, there are certain conditions where we can expect to have unique fixed points. Particularly, most of the situations we'll see that the where the function is having a fixed point, their function is eventually continuous. And our basically study is there are certain contractive type map where the function is having fixed point, but maybe at the fixed point function may not be continuous. Okay, so let us start with certain introduction and basic historical developments of this particular metric fixed point theory. And as we know, fixed point theory is one of the most dynamic research area in nonlinear sciences. And if we broadly classify it, it can be classified into three major areas like topological fixed point theory, which came from Brouwer's fixed point theorem in 1912. And second one is metric fixed point theory, which came from Banach's fixed point theorem in 1922. And another one is discrete fixed point theory, which came from Tarski's fixed point theorem in 1955. So now we are focusing the second one, that is metric fixed point theory. And this is a major, the pioneer work, it has been done by Banach. And it is in on the year 1921 and 22, it has been published in Fundamenta Mathematica. It says that if we take a self map, which is defined on a complete metric space, x comma d satisfying the condition d of t f of x comma f of y is less or equal to alpha times d of x comma y, where alpha is maybe 0 and it is less than 1. For this is true for all x and y, then we can expect that it is having a unique fixed point. So immediately we can have some important remark, like if we choose alpha equal to 1, what happens? In that case, particularly the contraction mapping is, it becomes contractive. And then surprisingly, T may not have any fixed point. So I like to give some examples here. Although in the year 1962, Edelstein proved a self-mapping T on a compact metric space satisfying the condition D of Tx, Ty is less than D of x, y, it has a unique fixed point. So here the metric space and domain of definition has to be compact in that result. And a mapping satisfies this type of contraction condition. It is known as the contractive mapping. So sometimes it is known as Edelstein contractive mapping. Means whatever the condition D of Tx, Ty, it is less than D of x, y. That means alpha is going to be equal to 1 for all x not equal to y. So here, if we see that if we take the metric space to be complete, then we may not claim that existence of fixed point. Like if I like to give some example. Okay, so contractive map without fixed point. So if I consider f is a mapping from this 1 comma infinity to r, like x goes to x plus 1 by x for all x belongs to domain of definition, then naturally we can expect that mod of fx minus fy is less than mod of x minus y for all x comma y belongs to the domain of definition. Okay, so this is very easy to check this result. And now we see that the space, this is complete. But important thing is that it is not compact. It is complete, but it is not compact. And at the same time, it has no fixed point. So this is a very interesting thing. That means here, in some sense, we can expect that completeness is not sufficient to give the claim if we take alpha to be 1. That means in case of contractive mapping. So this is a thing, and this is this is not so deep, but it is it is available in every textbook, I can say. Now, while going through the proof of Edelstein result, one can easily note that the continuity of the mapping plays a vital role for showing the existence of fixed point. Again, we see that the mapping F satisfying this condition is necessarily continuous. So whatever we can say, contraction and contractive, in both the cases, we can expect these are continuous. So in this sequel, it is quite natural to have a question like, does there exist any contraction map accompanied with fixed point which is not necessarily continuous? So in 1968, Kannan proved a result in which he showed that a mapping T on a complete metric space satisfying the condition dtx, ty is less or equal to alpha times d of x, tx plus d of y, ty for all x, y belongs to the domain of definition, and alpha is in between 0 to half. It has a unique fixed point. Here the mapping T, the important thing is that here the mapping T is not necessarily continuous. A mapping T satisfying condition this type, if I take just only strictly less than, then we can say that it is a Kannan type contractive mapping. In case of contraction, then it is less or equal to. And if we just discard the thing equality possibility, and we have to also restrict that X not equal to Y. So in this case particularly, we can say that it is a Kannan type contractive mapping. In 1978, B. Fisher and Khan proved two fixed point results related to contractive type mappings on compact metric spaces. So this is also important on compact metric spaces. They proved that a continuous mapping on a compact metric space has a fixed point. Another thing is assumption is continuous. This is also important. They took the assumption that function has to be continuous, and satisfying these two criteria, one is this and this, for all x comma y belongs to x with x not equal to y, then it is having a fixed point. Later on in 1980, Chen and Ye proved a continuous, again here also continuous self map on a non-empty compact metric space. So compactness is there. Satisfying this condition, this is just d of y comma tx with x, all distinct x and y, and a and b, these are two non-negative real functions, then t is having a fixed point. If in addition there are conditions like a is less or equal to 1 by d of x comma y, and b is less or equal to 1, then t is having unique fixed point. So uniqueness is guaranteed here. From the above results, we can easily deduce that a continuous Kannan type contractive mapping on a compact metric space has a unique fixed point. So what are the two things we are considering? Kannan type map may not be continuous, as we already know. And if we take continuous Kannan type contractive mapping and the domain of definition is compact, then it is having a unique fixed point. So, and one recent result in 2017, Gornicki gave the proof, which is published in JPTA. It says that if x comma d be a compact metric space and t is a continuous mapping such that d tx comma ty is less than a into dx d tx x comma tx b into dy comma ty plus c into dx comma y for all x comma y belongs to x and x not equal to y, where a, b, c, these are all positive real numbers, and which satisfies their sum is restricted to 1, then t is having a unique fixed point. Thus, we see that for the existence of a fixed point of the above type of contractive mappings, with two assumptions play vital roles. One of them is compactness. Compactness is one criteria of the underlying space, and other is continuity of the corresponding mapping. So it is it was a natural question that does there exist any contractive type mapping accompanied with fixed point whose domain is not compact or which is not necessarily continuous. So again, I like to emphasize that does there exist any contractive type map? This is contractive, any contractive type map which is having fixed points, but domain of definition is not compact, or the function is not continuous, not necessarily continuous. So this was the point of question we studied. On searching the answer of it, an automatic thought comes in our mind that it is that whether completeness, which is much weaker than the compactness, can serve our purpose or not. The following couple of examples shows that completeness cannot serve. And the similar type of example already I discussed. If I take this thing, then it is a contractive mapping, but it has no fixed point. We see that the space is complete but not compact, and the mapping is contractive, and also it is continuous, but it is having no fixed point. So here completeness will not serve our purpose. If we look at another example, if we take x to be natural number and consider the metric d defined as, this is a little bit constructive example, 1 plus 1 by x minus 1 by y for x not equal to y, and if x equal to y, then it is 0. Then if we take the function like x goes to 3x, so naturally it is not having any fixed point, no fixed point. And at the same time, it can be proved that it is a Kannan type contractive map. This is one thing. Another, the space with this metric, we can say that it is complete but not compact. So we are in a position to create a fixed point free map here. Now we proceed further to give some proper answer of the above mentioned problem. To this, we first recall two weaker versions of compactness. We like to give some weaker condition than the compactness. Actually, completeness and compactness, from complete to compact. So we like to have some conditions here, which is weaker, in some sense, which is weaker, and which may be bigger than completeness. Okay, so for this particular case, we like to have some definition. A subset of a metric space is said to be boundedly compact if every bounded sequence in A has a convergent subsequence in A. So boundedly compact means what? Every bounded sequence. We are not considering every sequence. Every bounded sequence in A has a convergent subsequence in A. And another thing is that suppose T is a self map on a metric space X, then X is said to be T orbitally compact if every sequence in the orbit OXT has a convergent subsequence for all X, for all the orbits. And what is orbit OXT is X, TX, T square X, T cube X, like, and so on. So this is known as the T orbitally compact metric space. Now we recall weaker version of continuity also. This is also well known. A mapping T on a metric space X comma D is said to be orbitally continuous if for any sequence Yn in an orbit OXT such that Yn goes to Y, it implies T of Yn goes to T of Y as n tends to infinity, and it has to be true for all X belongs to X. So this is definition of orbitally continuous function or operator. It is easy to see that every compact metric space is boundedly compact, and T orbitally compact, every compact metric space is boundedly compact, and T orbitally compact also it is, but not conversely. That means these are in fact weaker. Further, note that boundedly compact and T orbitally compactness are totally independent. So you cannot say that T orbitally compact implies boundedly compact or vice versa. And next, we like to focus certain result in this connection, which is published in AADM. So let X comma D be a boundedly compact metric space, and T is a mapping which is orbitally continuous mapping such that it satisfies Kannan type contractive map. Then T has a unique fixed point. This is one result. Another result let XD be a T orbitally compact metric space where T is an orbitally continuous mapping. Here we assume that it is an orbitally continuous mapping such that it satisfies Carnot type contractive map. Then T is having a unique fixed point. So what is the conclusion? One can easily check that assumptions of bounded compactness, orbital compactness, these are weaker versions of compactness, as well as the assumptions of orbital continuity of the mapping does not necessarily imply the continuity of the mapping. Thus, we have shown that there exists some contractive type maps which possesses fixed point but need not necessarily be continuous, and also the domain need not be compact. We provide an example to authenticate the result, whatever we have stated. Suppose X is a set, it is not one is not there, one open, two closed, union -1, 0 with the usual metric, and T is defined as Tx equal to -1 whenever x equal to 2, and it is equal to 0 whenever x doesn't belong, doesn't equal to 2. So then it is easy to check whether this is basically Carnot type contractive mapping, and T is discontinuous. T is discontinuous also, and still T is having a fixed point. What is the fixed point? This is easy to predict. 0 is a fixed point here. There are many contractive conditions to furnish existence and uniqueness of fixed point of different type of mappings in different structures. It is an interesting fact to observe that among the several classes of contractive conditions, some conditions force the corresponding mapping to be continuous on the entire domain, and some conditions to some particular points of the domain. As for example, a Carnot type contractive mapping is continuous at its fixed point if it exists, but need not be continuous on entire domain. So after that, in the year 1988, Rhodes did a comparative study with some contractive definitions, and he tried to find out the most general one. He observed that most of the contractive conditions do not force the mapping to be continuous on the entire domain, although in all cases, the mappings are continuous at their respective fixed points, what I have started with. So an open problem in this connection, in that particular paper, Rhodes posed an exciting open problem, and that was, does there exist any contractive condition which can generate fixed points of the underlying mapping, but mapping need not necessarily to be continuous at their fixed points. So there are certain developments in this regard. It was first one problem. It has been achieved by Pont in, it has been published in JAMA. So the result says that FBA self-mapping on a complete metric space such that for all XY it happens to be true, then we can say that it is having a unique fixed point. And there is a criteria for continuous at the fixed point. So criteria is that if and only if limit x tends to z, m comma x comma z is going to be equal to 0. So after that, many researchers gave some interesting answer to this above mentioned open problem by taking different types of contractive mapping. But in the results, it can be easily proved that the corresponding mappings are continuous at their respective fixed points. So we are basically, we also answered this question in a more general way. So what is that? Particularly in this direction, we define a class of contractive mapping that is designated as Carlier contractive mapping. I like to quickly focus on what it is. A be the collection, Carlier be the collection of mappings from R3 plus to R3 plus, which satisfies the following. It is continuous and these two conditions. Then there are certain examples we can construct. these are the examples which belongs to that particular collection. Now we like to give the curly contractive mappings its definition. Suppose X D be a metric space, T be a self mapping, then T is said to be a contractive mapping if there exists F such that it satisfies this D of Tx Ty is less than F of first component is dxy, second is xtx, third is yty for a all x not equal to y. Then we got this result. We are considering a compact metric space and T be an curly a contractive mapping such that T is orbitally continuous. We are not assuming the function to be continuous. And also we can claim that T for that particular case, T is having a unique fixed point. And there is another conditions. So where we see that if f of 0, 0, u is 0 implies u equal to 0, then T is continuous at the fixed point z. If and only if limit x tends to z, m of z comma x is equal to 0, where m of x z comma x is equal to this thing. We now examine whether the above result we can say that compactness can be relaxed or not. To this, we like to give the example. One example like x is 1 by n, n belongs to natural number, and define a mapping dx cross x to r by d of x comma y is equal to 0 whenever x equal to y, and whenever x not equal to y, then it is 1 plus 1 by x minus 1 by y. Then we can easily check that this is complete but not compact metric space. And in particular, if we define T of 1 by n equal to 1 by 4n for all n belongs to natural number, and your small f is equal to u plus v plus w by 3, then T is a contractive mapping. And it is easy to check that T, capital T is orbitally continuous. And most importantly, we can say that T has no fixed point. So now we are in a position to give an example where we can give the answers of roads. Okay, so this is such an example. I'm not coming into detail because time is limited. So whatever we can tell, we can say that we are able to introduce a new type of contractive mappings which possesses a fixed point but need not necessarily be continuous at the fixed point. So this is what mainly we did here. And these are the references. Okay. I think this is it. Thank you for your attention.
So, thank you very much for your nice lecture, Dr. K. Now, anyone who wishes to discuss or any queries, questions related to the present topic?
Sir, myself, Jayanto Biswas. May I question you, sir?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Actually, in complete metric space, when we are trying to establish the existence of fixed point, naturally we construct a sequence and then prove that that sequence is Cauchy sequence. And to do that, normally we consider an non-negative sequence of real numbers made by the metric D and considering its suitable arguments from the sequence. But instead of doing that, if we can prove that sequence of non-negative real numbers made by the metric D is bounded, which is some weaker condition than convergency of that non-negative real number sequence, then we can reach at the existence of fixed point. And I have realized in many proofs of that theorem. So if we go through this way of proving boundedness of the non-negative real number sequence made by the metric D, then we can weaken the contraction conditions. But still, we can reach at the existence of fixed point theorem. Because sequence of real numbers has a property that every bounded sequence has a convergent subsequence.
Yes. Yes, it can be done by that method also.
Okay. Then in this way, we can weaken or generalize or extend further the contraction conditions. So that is a very broad scope to us.
And so whatever the contractive type map and whatever the things we are coming into the picture means under the umbrella of Curly A contractive type map, this is a huge in the sense it is very much broad. You can have a look. So many contractive type mappings are there. And in fact, in case of contraction also, it is possible. Yes, you are correct. So in many
Thank
ways, still now it is also going on. Research is going on. This collection.
Jayant, hello.
Yeah. Sir.
I think the conditions which I mean the point which you actually have in your mind.
Yeah.
It seems that there is something missing possibly because there are the way to prove the Cauchy sequences for especially the contractive type mappings, not only in particular the metric space, but the metric space which is you are not enjoying fully the triangle property, you know. So this idea of the boundedness slightly seems to be the tough one.
I'm talking, sir. I'm talking about boundedness of the sequence of non-negative real numbers made by the metric D. That is like D of xn plus 1. Consider this sequence, or and we try to prove that this sequence of real non-negative real numbers is decreasing. Okay.
Yes, Professor Vishwas, you are talking about particularly metric space, but Dr. Gopal is saying something different.
No. Sir, this procedure has been followed in any type of metric spaces.
Yeah.
There are many results.
Yeah.
No, that is good point of discussion. But Dr. Day, because it is a forum to discuss, we should have few minutes to discuss it, because we possibly will not get a time to discuss a particular point. Yes. Remember that the zeta contraction or simulation contraction, Sumanta, both we all, how they have proved that the theorem, before Cauchy sequence, you remember it?
No, sir.
Yeah, just to see that. So the trick is absolutely different. They have categorically before Cauchy they have proved something. Some orbit type of things they have considered. Anyway, this is a point where we can see. But I think that the zeta contraction or simulation contraction paper, the filament, is one of maybe the paper which we can follow for this particular thinking process. Anyway, this nice discussion. Please continue.
Yeah,
thank you, sir.
Even it is true for F contraction also. right? Uh,
No, no. For the process before COSI, yes. That I mean, for the S contraction is slightly different than the simulation contraction.
no, no, no. I like to have. I like to give some other things.
Okay, 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 okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a nice discussion. I think. So due to the time, let us ask Professor Som sir what further.
Yes, yes. We have to go
So
to the
let us
next
once
session
again thank
actually.
Dr. LK Day for a nice topic, in particularly the discontinued fixed point. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Over to Professor Sam, sir.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you, Dr. Gopal. And thank you,
Thank,
Professor Som.
thank you, Dr. Gopal and Dr. LKD. LKD for his very nice lecture and discussion, and then Dr. Gopal to handle the things, situations. Now, I invite, we are going to have paper presentation.